Do you reckon Rafa got it in bad and pulled a 2-outer on the river?
I don't think Rafa ever gets it in bad. Did you guys notice that Rafa's playing poker?
Welcome back to the PokerStars.net European Poker Tour. Level 24 of the tournament getting underway here. Day 5 of the main event with 15 players remaining. We're playing down to the final table today. These are the 7 players we're watching on our feature table. There are 8 players on the outer table. Steve O'Dwyer, the tournament chip leader, as he was at the start of the day.
You know, I bet they're paying Rafa so much money that he literally makes money on every hand he plays, whether he wins or loses.
Probably true. So first hand back from the break. First hand of 12-24 with a 3K ante. And there's an early position raise from Mantas Vizotskis. Called by Theo Jorgensen in the big blind. And a queen 6-4 flop with 2 hearts.
I am destined to get Vizotskis' name right and not sound like I'm losing brain cells when I say it by the end of this tournament.
How about calling him Mantas?
No, I don't take the easy way out.
I'll stop you before.
What are you talking about?
Vizotskis continues for 50,000. Theo calls. Board pairs on the turn. It's the 4 of diamonds.
Jorgensen checks again. If I write it out, Vizotskis, I can say it very easily if I put the T in there.
Good for you. Vizotskis continues for 115,000. A reminder of chip denominations. The yellows that Theo is very prettily spread out there are worth 25,000 each. Blues are 5,000. Reds are 1,000. Theo Jorgensen is the last remaining member of Team PokerStars Pro in the field. He's also aiming to complete his triple crown here in London. He's got the World Series bracelet. He's got the WPT title. Now he's looking for an EPT main event title.
Theo had a rough last level, but he did claw his way back to over $1 million.
Made a big call against Neil Farrell, which turned out to be the wrong call. And he will not call this bet on the turn. Vizotskis wins that pot. And it's up to over 1.5 million. We've also got an outer table in the field. And by the way, before the break, we may have given some incorrect information about Ruben Visser's chips. He's actually won a pot worth 500,000, which means he's up to around 1.2 million. So Visser in the 7 seat, doing well. Also at the outer table, Chris Moorman, currently tweeting in the black t-shirt. And over the other side of the table, currently masked by the dealer, is Nicola Schwiti, Lebanese player who won the EPT Grand Final in Season 6. Now behind the outer table is the High Roller event. And seated at one of those tables is Special Agent Frank Calfon playing in his first ever EPT High Roller. And we have heard that he has just doubled up in that tournament.
James, I kind of want to do the song.
If, and it's a big if, we bring the audience some bonus coverage of the High Roll later on. And if Calfon is at the feature table, then the song will be performed.
Oh boy, I hope we do bonus coverage, and I hope he's at the table.
So just to clarify, Calfon busted the main, completed his mission, now he's in the High Roller. That's how he rolls. We'll have a guest on the way in just a moment. We'll welcome in Fatima Moreira de Melo from Team PokerStars Sports Star. So in the minutes before Fatima arrives, if you want to tweet your questions or email your questions, do so. Tag your tweets EPT Live, email nuts@pokerstars.tv. We have got 4-way action here, potentially.
Steve O'Dwyer, the original raiser, 54,000, got called by Kamel. Theo 3-betting out of the small blind.
A re-raise to 170,000. Neil Farrell to act in the big blind now. Farrell folds, action back on O'Dwyer, the original raiser.
This is a pretty typical spot for a squeeze once there's a raise and a call, squeezing out of the small blind. Steve's still got to worry about Kamel to act behind. Steve folds. I think it's a little more difficult to give Theo credit in this spot since it is such a good spot for a squeeze. Kamel would have position now if he were to make this call. And this wasn't just a click it back 3-bet. The original raise was to 54,000. This is to 170, so this is more than 3 times.
You always wonder when players in mid-position call these under-the-gun raises, when they're doing it in the hope that someone squeezes behind, that they're laying a trap. Not in this case. Kamel will fold. Michael Piper, a previous EPT final tableist and a PLO wizard, has tweeted to say, rooting for my boy, Tamer Kamel. We went to the same school. Great guy, and seems to be playing very well. He's sitting on a stack of 1.8 million at the moment. Farrell ahead of him on 2 million. O'Dwyer at the top of the tree with nearly 2.3 million. A lot of respect on Twitter for our last guest, David Williams. Shawsey says, David is my new favourite person in poker. Good man and some cracking insights. Respect.
Not a lot of respect on Twitter for the art of poetry. Michael writes in to say, Day 5 of the EPT, I wonder what we will see. A push, a shove, an all-in. Whoever wins will be ball-in. You guys see that tumbleweed roll through here? Crazy.
Michael, we appreciate your contributions to the show. Thank you once again for voting EPT Live, your favourite web-based poker show. But we're aiming for back-to-back titles, people. Make sure you vote for us for the 2014 title as well.
Start voting now. It's never too early. Actually, it is actually too early. You can't vote yet.
Natoli on Twitter says, guys, before the break you mentioned that Visser is an ex-member of Team PokerStars Pro. What, in your opinion, is the reason that he was, in inverted commas, kicked off? We actually discussed this with Ruben because, and I think we haven't made enough of this, Ruben was one of the people who answered our call in Deauville. We actually said, look, if you're a poker player and you're in Deauville and you want to come on EPT Live as a guest commentator, give us a shout. And that's what Ruben chose to do. And he came in. And we obviously brought him some run good stakes because here he is in the last 15 of the next leg of the
Obviously,
EPT.
we brought him the run good.
But we discussed it, and Ruben just said, you know, I don't think that I played particularly well during the time I was sponsored. I didn't have any major results, didn't necessarily bring anything else to the table, and it just didn't work out. It wasn't a good fit.
I think also that region of Holland had a lot of pros at the time, I think. I think it was maybe too many people representing that area, and so I think that he just kind of got unlucky in that he didn't perform, and there were lots of other, you know, they had to make room in the budget for people like Fatima, obviously.
Fatima Moreira de Melo joining us from Team PokerStar Sports Star.
Hi, guys.
Those shoes aren't cheap that she likes to go out and get at all these stops. Got to keep Fatima in shoes.
By the way, Ruben, like, I agree with you guys that, like, live tournaments he wasn't doing that well in. But he was getting pretty good results online, so I think he just got unlucky. You know, we had like 18 pros back then, which was a lot for such a small country.
Well, I mean, let's pick up another example. Gavin Griffin, the first player to win the Triple Crown, and everyone will remember when he signed up to Team Pro in 2008. But then Gavin had the driest 2 years he'd ever had in live poker. Was failing to even cash in a tournament, let alone make a final table or win. So he appreciated that when his contract came to an end, it's like, well, what have I done during that 2 years? Nothing.
Right, and then, you know, obviously your online results don't count for nothing, but really what they want to see is you on television and you in front of cameras and your face and your patch and all that stuff. And so making TV tables and stuff like that goes a lot further.
Yeah, and to be really honest, I think Ruben's not the kind of guy that loves to go on television or, you know, get out there and you know, do that sort of stuff. He's, yeah, in his best shape when he's just doing his thing, focusing on poker, because he's really good at it. Yeah.
And the irony is, Fatima, that now he's no longer a pro. He made the final table of the PCA last year, and here he is
Yeah.
on the cusp of making the final table of another EPT main event.
Yeah. Oh, he's a very talented young man.
Craig Davidson asks, how long did you wait to use that blowing wind soundbite? That was a live performance, Craig.
They call me the White Michael Winslow.
Brit on Brit action. Farrell the Razor. Kamel calling in the big blind. And checking this flop of Jack Trey Deuce.
Farrell continues. Farrell's been pretty impressive today. That thin value bet he made against Theo, he managed to get looked up on the river. Those are the kind of hands that you know, you have to extract max value when you know you're ahead.
Players in the high roller, finish the hand you're on, you're on a 15-minute break. That's all players on the high roller, finish the hand you are on, and it's a 15-minute break.
We heard that. The players in the high roller are going on a break, so expect plenty of Twitter updates from the players in that tournament, telling you what stack they're playing.
So cool to see Theo here, though. Like after, you know, the robbery in his house and stuff. Such a good guy.
He is beloved.
Let's see how Farrell responds to this check raise from Tamer Kamel.
And this is a pretty dry board, so a raise is going to get a lot of respect, usually. I think it's a board that, you know, is more often going to hit the big blinds defending range than any random late position raise. Farrell does make the call, which narrows his range a little bit more. Another jack on the turn. And another jack hitting here might make it tough for Kamel to keep barreling. He checks. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see a check behind. We're going to see a bet.
Go on, Kamel. Go for the double check raise.
The thing is, once you go for the double check raise, you have to go for the check raise trifecta.
Double check raise is rare. A triple check raise is rarer.
Just a call. That's a pretty big brick on the river. Not that there were too many draws out there anyway. It's possible Melo was check raising the flop with something like a wheel draw.
Yeah, or just not much. I mean, it's a pretty dry flop, and he check raises there, so he knows he's not getting that much credit. So he can get called by anything. So he can call lighter on a turn bet as well.
Check, check on the river. 2 6s. King high, no good.
And you'll notice, due to popular demand, that we have broken up the union. Tamer Kamel now represented by the St. George's Cross. Farrell represented by the St. Andrew's Cross. So
you got to make it to day 5 to get your own specific little portion of Great Britain represented.
well, to be fair, and you know, we listen to the people, and I think it's only fair to point out that on the TV shows, that's what we do. We have it as England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland. So it's only fair that on the live streams we provide you with the same.
So now no one gets Union Jack.
Correct. Kamel and Mormon are represented by England, and Neil Farrell is Scotland. Wow, interesting stat on Twitter from Nicholas. It says Steve O'Dwyer is aiming to become only the 4th non-European to reach 3 EPT final tables. I mean, are we including side events here?
Well, no. I think we went through this yesterday, you know, if you're...
Oh, of course, you made the final table of Copenhagen, didn't he?
Steve O'Dwyer.
Yes.
You were at that one, buddy, not me. I barely remember the ones I went to.
Daniel has a question about O'Dwyer. He says, why is he keeping his stack so close to Vysotskis? He's got so much space to his right.
He probably likes it. He can just look at his cards with one hand if he wants, just with his right hand. It's just easy, little wall.
I think it's quite clear what's Steve's stack and what's Vysotskis' stack. And also, at the moment, we don't have a player in the 1 seat. If Steve had his chips to his right and then a player comes in the 1 seat, then we're going to be arguing that they're too close to that player.
Just has a big stack.
No, getting away from it. One could argue it might be a good time to bring out some of those sexy green and black chips.
True. Color up those reds. You can see they're not the big egos at this table. Like Steve O'Dwyer, he could have built his stack up higher. You know, that's what the, you know, like the, well, I don't know. The big egos usually do, like,
Oh, the massive chip
look at me
castles.
with my high towers. Yeah. Just keeps them nice and easily countable.
Well, you got to make them structurally sound is the thing. You don't want to be picking up chips left and right.
Rasmus has a question for Fatima, and if you've got a question for Fatima Moreira de Melo, you should email nuts@pokerstars.tv or tag your tweet EPT Live. He says, do you team pros talk together? For example, did you talk with Theo during the tournament?
Yeah, actually, we went for dinner in a dinner break. Oh, no, yeah, it was his dinner break, actually, on day 1A. And yeah, of course we talk.
I guess it's people asking, is there a genuine sense of team camaraderie? Because we saw in the challenge against the Full Tilt professionals, that really brought Ike, Elke and Daniel together. But in the team as a whole, and let's be honest, there's a lot of you, is there a sense that you're rooting for your fellow team pros?
Yeah, of course, you know some team pros better than others, right? Like the Dutch usually get along well with the Scandinavians, and, you know, like we just get each other's sense of humor, so we get along. And I think everyone has their favorites, and it's like in a normal group of, well, in a normal team, I guess, where you have your favorites and the people that you respect, but, you know, don't necessarily become friends with. And it's different from like a real team sport, because of course it's not like we all have the same goal. I mean, yeah, we all have the same goal. We want to win individually. But we do know that we can make each other better by talking about hands and that sort of stuff, and we do get to do that quite often, yeah.
Well, by changing the flags, we've pleased all the Scots out there. Paul Walsh says, you have pleased the Tartan Army, guys. Of course, don't know how much longer. Scotland's going to remain part of the United Kingdom if the referendum goes a certain way.
We're going to bring Neil the national drink of Scotland. We're going to deliver him some iron brew right to the table. Delicious and nutritious.
Willie says, thanks, Stapes. Scots resent when our country gets called a region, but a portion sounds much better. Don't have a problem with that.
I'm not going to lie, I'm always confused how to refer. I thought the United Kingdom was a country. So it's like the States.
United States.
Yeah, okay. Fine, the state of Scotland. Still, let me tell you, I've been to Scotland. It is a state.
The irony is you have spent at least 3 more months in Scotland than I have in my life.
Yeah.
So you know the country better than I do.
Friday night in Scotland in August is a state for sure. So the last couple hands, Theo got a walk. Steve O'Dwyer raise and takes it. This hand, Christopher Frank makes it 50K.
And almost, well, in fact, before the dealer could announce the raise, Karotkick is in there. He says, I have hand, I want flop.
And this is a situation where we've seen Theo 3-bet.
He already looked interested, though, before Karotkick was in the hand. He's already looking like at all the players with interest.
How often has this dynamic happened, Stapes? The open from Frank, the immediate flat from Karotkick, the 3-bet from Jorgensen. This is like the 3rd or 4th hand this has happened?
Yeah. And it's worked for Theo every time, so why would he stop doing it?
And the story repeats itself.
I think one
Frank
time
folds,
he got
Karotkick calls.
I think one time Theo got 2 folds. But and I'm sure Theo's okay with getting a call here.
In position, too.
Yep.
Like if Karotkick really had a hand, he would have just shoved, I think, with his stack.
Theo puts in
It's just
50,000. Theo makes a really small bet and gets a fold.
I think Theo knew that he was going to win it with a bet on the flop for sure.
And Karaki now down to 328,000.
So as promised, we have a caption competition for you now on EPT Live. Earlier on, a photograph was taken in the booth while David Williams was with us. And we want you to provide an amusing caption to this photograph, taken by official EPT photographer Neil Stoddart. So send in a caption, tag your tweets, EPT Live, email nuts@pokerstars.tv, and we will get an independent panel. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 expert panelists who will vote on the best caption of the day, and the winner will receive 2 box sets, a box set of Season 1 of the Big Game and a box set of poker tutorial shows.
Twitter only, by the way. We're only accepting your submissions via Twitter. Hashtag EPT Live, and maybe indicate that you're sending us a caption as well. So do what you can with that, super sleuths.
We're not going to force you to judge another competition, Fatima, don't worry.
I'm very grateful. Well, I actually didn't mind it that much.
The image has been posted on Twitter, by the way, from the official European Poker Tour account, so you can take another look at it.
I will. I'll retweet it as well.
Good plan, Stapes.
You can follow Hardigan at J_Hardigan on Twitter, and myself, I'm at Stapes. If you guys want to be a part of the gang here.
Question for Fatima from Bart. Is when you sign up to PokerStars, Fatima, as a sports person, as a member of Team Sportstar, do they provide you with poker coaching? Not that I'm suggesting you need it.
Well, I think everyone needs it in the end.
When you're a hot
thanks.
girl, by the way, you get provided with poker coaching by pretty much anyone that you could possibly want it from.
You speak from experience? What?
I've seen people fall all over themselves to offer poker coaching to attractive women.
To who? To which hot women
To
that
girls
you've
back
seen?
in the day.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Back in
yeah,
the day.
Absolutely.
Oh, really? Well, actually, Ruben Visser gave me some poker lessons when he was still a member of Team Pro, and Lex obviously did, and the De Mulder brothers did. But it's more like a casual thing that you know, like, well, you either want to do or you don't.
No shortage of people offering Fatima lessons.
There were teammates, though. It wasn't like everyone was like falling over me, crowding
I don't know,
like,
you just
lines
rattled off
and sleeping
5.
in front of my hotel door to give me poker lessons. Dude, it's not.
Did Lex teach you how to get it in a good spot?
Yeah.
So O'Dwyer's pre-flop
Pretty
raise
light, though.
called by Tamer Kamal, and O'Dwyer continues on that flop.
Oh, Nat's got a pretty good caption already.
What
The
is
last time I saw this much plaque was on the EPT Deauville final table. I like it. Do I get a vote? Am I one of the 10 voters, or is it just
No.
it's just the
Independently verified.
Okay.
So here is the outer table, and quite a rail building here.
Well, we've got a red triangle.
I think Ruben's all in, isn't he?
It does look like Ruben's chips are in front of him.
It looks like he's won. Yeah,
I think Ruben may have just doubled up.
I think so.
Well, he won a huge pot earlier on, taking his stack up to 1.2 million. And by the looks of things, if Kate ships those chips towards him, yes,
Posse Sorninen's not going to be left with very much.
the Finn, who started yesterday as chip leader, is not left with a big stack at all. And Visser may well have taken the tournament chip lead if he had a stack of 1.2 and has just doubled up. Visser, the new tournament chip leader, with 15 players still remaining. Not sure how long it'll be 15, with Pasi Sorminen now short stacked. Tim emails from Kent here in the UK. He says, great commentating. I'm curious if tomorrow on the final table the whole cards will be shown like at the PCA. No, Tim, this is EPC Live Lite. This is not a televised event, so we don't have the whole card cameras. So the final table will be 100% live, no delay on the stream, but we will not have whole card information for you. But we will when we get to Monaco.
Dwar's open's been 3-bet by Vitsotskis. Really small 3-bet too. Giving Steve a pretty good price to call. Vitsotskis in position.
Oh, he's going to continue here, I think, whether he has it or not.
And it looks like a pretty small continuation bet. 65,000. And we've seen this happen a bunch where, you know, in these 3-bet pots, you don't always have to continue for a massive amount. And that C-bet gets the job done.
Tonya says, good morning, Stapes, James and Fatima from Canada. Lewis says, I hope I can come up with a caption for that photograph before tooth hurty.
Nice, I like it. Though I'm not in the jury. But.
It's an oldie but a goodie. I like it, though. Far be it from me to...
Did she say tooth 30 or tooth hurty?
Tooth hurty.
Oh, nice.
Let me try to think of one.
We'll give you some time. It's okay.
Joe really wants that big game box set. He loves watching himself.
I just sit here on all the breaks. I don't even go to the bathroom. I just sit there watching the big game footage.
Really? Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Do you ever get some sleep or just too busy?
I mean, there's always some more me to watch.
Yeah. You have mirrors above your bed
Yes.
for that purpose?
Amongst others. Mostly just myself, obviously.
You teach poker.
Yes. Dwyer just limping. That's interesting.
Oh, dude.
Kamel's limped the button. There we go. Another limp from the small blind. And Karaki just checks. So four-way, unraised pot.
Weird.
Quite.
Don't know if you remember, Joe, but at the final table of EPT8 London, O'Dwyer actually made this exact move. He limped.
He limped it didn't really work out for him, though.
No, but afterwards he made a big thing about one of these days I'm going to make this work for me. I'm going to bring back the pre-flop limp. And here he is 1 season later, trying to make it work again.
He did it here, and JC Alvarado did it a bunch at the Super High Roller in Barcelona.
One caller heads up to the turn.
I just feel so uncomfortable limping. I just, you know.
I mean, one hand...
Anyone can have anything, really.
One
like,
hand that
ranges are
people
so wide.
limp with sometimes, it's small pairs, I think, is, you know, a big part of a limping range. I think
Yeah.
a small suited ace a lot of the time, so it's possible that Steve has a, you know, a bad ace
Yeah.
here. But, you know, once you limp, you entice other people to come along with all kinds of hands. And right now, this board has just got all kinds of possibilities. Straight draws, Broadway draws, 2 flush draws. You know, and Steve continuing to bet, I guess, is something he would do, I think, maybe with a bad ace still. And just hope the river bricks. Mel calls. Not exactly a brick on the river.
Nope.
Check, check.
Ace something.
Not a suited ace.
No.
Ace 8. And that's going to be good.
Boom, you're right.
Just a
Nice one.
Well, yeah, just a bad ace. I don't know. I would have more expected it to be suited, but
Breaking news from the floor, by the way. Not regarding the main event, but from the high roller tournament. We were alerted to a potential threat against the channel tunnel, so Special Agent Calfon had to be dispatched. Therefore, he arranged for himself to be eliminated from the high
nothing
roller.
more annoying than thinking you finished your mission, come back and play the high roller. You get another call from the agency. You put 4 bullets in the bad guy. He gets back up again. He has to cut the blue wire. He's got to go all the way back down to the Marble Arch.
Oh, God.
Defuse the bomb.
What's
Okay,
been
but
going on in here?
I need to stop you for 2 reasons.
Yeah.
Number one, because you're just wittering now, but also it's Marble Arch. It's not the Marble Arch, it's just Marble Arch.
Is there more than one?
Just don't add definite articles where they're not needed. You sound
Next,
like a
you're going to tell me
tourist.
that he didn't.
You sound
he
like a
didn't-
tourist.
That he didn't save the Big Ben, either.
Anyway,
He
Calfon's
said
out,
Big Ben.
and we've got an all-in on our feature table. Karokik has shoved.
Hey.
This limpathon thing continues because Frank just limped on the button, allowing Karokik to make that move. Doesn't get any callers. By the way, the outer table, we're hearing that both Bassi Sormanen and Chris Moorman are very short-stacked. I believe it was Marco on Twitter asking where we can get chip stacks on all the players remaining in the tournament. The PokerStars blog, if you go to the live updates section, they are updating those chip counts regularly. You can see the live reports team standing there.
Oh, we've got a good caption here from Steve. Flostradamus and his idiots. Okay, we're going to save him from now on. I'm sorry. I really like Flostradamus, though.
I try to wrangle him. I do my best. Abraham has a question. Why the really short days for days 4, 5, and 6? Why didn't they play down to 8 yesterday? Well, the first thing to say is that the ambition was to play down to 16, and it happened a lot quicker than anyone could have predicted. Who is to say that today will be a short day? We haven't lost a player yet, and we're into the second level. And tomorrow, well, final tables can be anything between 4 and 16 hours.
If we're gonna save all the captions, can you guys just put them all together and then fire them off at us when it's time? You are doing that? Great, thank you. Because otherwise we'll lose them in the Twitter feed. I'm sorry, Fatima. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that I think you guys are hoping for a long final table, right?
Oh yeah, always wishing for it to go as long as possible.
Yeah, right?
Definitely.
Sounds like we have an all-in at the outer table. It's Pasi Sormanen. He's got the red warning triangle.
And Mormon also all in.
A double all-in. Sormanen has shoved. Mormon has shoved.
And they're both short. I wonder which one has the other covered. It looks like Mormon may have Sormanen covered.
Queen 9 is the hand for Sormanen. Ace 5 the hand for Mormon. Trip 5 for Mormon on that board, and the elimination of Pasi Sormanen out in 15th place. 14 remain, 2 tables of 7.
Pasi Sormanen finished.
We'll just let that one hang there. In the midst of all these captions, there are some questions coming in for Fatima, Moreira de Melo, and we'll get to those questions in just a moment. Nice to see this next hand at our feature table. Blinds 12-24 with a 3,000 ante, roughly halfway through this level of the tournament.
So it took us a level and a half to lose someone today.
And interesting that Sormanen doubled up the other short stacks, and Mormon is now kind of out of the danger zone.
Danger zone!
Could I get coffee latte, please?
In case you're wondering what drink Christopher Frank likes to order, the answer is latte.
I like it a latte. Here comes Steve O'Dwyer. 3 bizzle.
If you think about it, it's so disgusting what Steve O'Dwyer's doing with his hand on his face.
And touching
all the chips and stuff, and everyone going to the bathroom and
how you
not
build
washing
up
their hands.
No, it's how you build up a strong immune system.
Yeah. Usually when I try to think about not doing it, but then when I've done it after a poker tournament, I usually get like a couple thingies on my infections on my
break out?
jaw. A little bit. I never have them, and then sometimes after a poker tournament, when I've had a deep run.
Yeah. All those germs.
Happens. Yeah. And I do pick off, like, if something falls on the floor, I'll still eat it. You know, I'm not, like, spastic.
5-second rule or more?
Doesn't matter. I did Survivor, right? So you
right.
don't really care anymore at all. I never cared before, but now I really don't care anymore. I just eat whatever I can find.
Now you know what it's like to be hungry.
Yeah.
I always say that my 5-second rule depends on a lot of factors. How hungry I am, how much more food I have.
And whether you like the food.
How much I like the food, what the condition of the floor is.
Well, yeah, if the
how wet the food is.
Yeah, that's the biggest concern, right?
So Dwyer's 3-bet from the small blind.
A lot of factors.
Over the top of Farrell's button raise.
Where you're at, like in your own house, is different.
Yeah.
And Farrell 4-bet. And O'Dwyer will fold.
I like it that he's not making an entire scene about it, you know, like thinking for a while and then folding. He just insta-mucks him. It's fine, whatever.
Chris Dougal says it's great that tournaments are working together to avoid clashes. With loads being clumped together, it makes playing them easier. Yeah, this London Poker Festival started with the GUKPT here at the Vic, followed by the UKIPT, followed by the EPT, and then we've got one of those WPT national events taking place in Stratford starting tomorrow. So here's a question for you, Fatima, and it comes from Gavido. In Barcelona, I understand you had a problem with lack of sleep. Was it because you were going deep in the tournament?
I don't even remember. Yeah, I did go deep in the tournament, but I don't even remember.
Were you really excited? Was that part of it? Was it?
Well, it's always tough when you've had a long day to fall right back, you know, like to fall asleep at night. But I don't think that like day 3 and day 4 weren't that long a days, you know. So, especially because I think I busted day 4 or 5. I don't even remember. But yeah, it is tough. Like usually when you've played and the adrenaline's been pumping a little bit, depending on the situations you've gotten yourself into or not. And then you always want to unwind a little bit, go for a bit of dinner, which is nice in Spain because you can do that. Or watch some shows, you know, like just chill out. I always keep repeating the hands that I've played in my head and think what I could have done better or whether it's good or not.
I gotta imagine that's gonna keep you awake though, and not.
Yeah, a little bit, and
wind
then
down.
No, but that's what you do, and then I try to distract myself by like watching shows or going for dinner or whatever.
Zotskis limps in the small. Kamal checks his option. They see a flop of 9-6-6 with 2 spades.
Check, bet, call.
The turn is the 5 of diamonds.
And I think that, you know, this is one of those situations where these guys could really have any sort of combination of hands, small to big, unraised pot. Check, check this time.
And a diamond on the river, the queen of diamonds.
Check, check on the river.
King 5 is good.
Calls with king high on the flop.
And pairs up on the turn. I'm sure the production team is going to appreciate this one. Roger on Twitter says, would it be a major inconvenience to have simultaneous feeds of both tables for future events? Maybe you could employ a split screen?
In a word, yes. Majorly inconvenient.
Why?
How do you do commentary on 2 tables at the same time?
Well, you comment on one, and then he comments on the other, and then you just give each other some space,
Fatima, that is the most
breathing space.
ridiculous idea that anyone has ever mooted.
Fatima's
Table 1.
as the
this
ultimate
going on, that
contrarian
going
has
on, blah, blah,
finally
blah.
you finally jumped the shark, Fatima.
No, it's just okay. Table 1 is like playing a hand, and you're like blah blah blah. You're saying all sorts of interesting stuff that you always do, right?
Nope.
This whole commentating on the other. What's the big problem?
Someone from the production is actually cutting your microphone because they think that this is.
They just don't want to do
No,
it.
That's how much nonsense you're speaking right now.
Oh.
Logistically.
You guys
not-
are so
not-
lazy.
No, no.
I think it's a great idea.
I just think you have a loose wire. I'm just
Fatima.
trying to fix it for you.
Fatima, I know Stapes is going to give you a load of you-know-what, but I'm actually going to answer your question seriously. It is a logistical, technical nightmare. It's beyond our budget, and I think, Roger, you should be very grateful that we have a camera on the other table, and if there is any significant action, like the all-in we just saw, we are able to show you that action.
What Fatima is saying is possible, but to answer your question, yes, majorly inconvenient.
That's why I kind of like it for you guys.
Oh, no, I get it. We
I
got
see you
it.
guys panicking.
The irony is we're the least inconvenienced. See all those people over there? The guys who actually put in the hard work, they're the ones who are going to be...
Oh, the nice guys. Yeah, that sucks for them.
Gloria's written in to say a very good point in the 5-second rule, by the way. Biggest factor in the 5-second rule, how many people saw you drop it?
No, I'm.
You don't care?
I don't give a fuck.
I dropped a McNugget one time at the airport, and there was a really hot girl who saw it, and I waited for her to look away, and then I picked it up.
Did you have sauce on it?
No
Like-
sauce on it yet.
Oh, okay,
Nope.
that makes a difference.
Yeah. Dry McNugget.
Okay, fine.
Can I point out that
Yeah.
any woman with taste would just be repelled by the fact that you're eating McNuggets in the first place,
I think,
regardless whether they've been
I think
on the
that's an
floor or not?
elitist statement, and I think that is I think that's unfair.
I used to eat them, and I don't anymore after that Facebook thing where you could see where
The
they
pink
came
slime?
from. Yeah,
Oh,
I
that
thought it
looks
was
so
strawberry
good.
milkshake,
Mm.
which I like, but knowing it wasn't, ugh, I just
I'm
can't do it anymore.
proud to say I have never consumed a chicken McNugget. Because I knew from the offset that they were not going to be like proper chicken. They're going to be mechanically reclaimed bits.
Guys, we're having some issues with Fatima's microphone. I'm just going to switch them out for this one here. Let's go with that one.
Okay, you hear me?
Yeah.
Karot kick all in again, coming over the top of Farrell's open. I think
Kamel's got a decision now.
Kamel actually 3-bet here. So Farrell made it 55,000. There was a 3-bet from the button. Kamel making it 120,000. Karot kick shoves for 347k. The original razor folds. It's not much more for Kamel to call.
He's not getting 2-1 though.
Well, I would think that Karot kick has a hand here, and he just has like some maybe suited connectors, something like that. Really, well, I don't know.
I mean, with
He's not happy.
Yeah, with Kamel counting out these chips, I'm leaning more towards some kind of big ace, but not ace king.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Well, there's the call.
Yeah.
Ace jack.
Yeah.
And Karot kick shoved with what I hope are pocket
Deuces?
deuces.
Yeah.
So you're happy to see 2 deuces there, obviously. You just don't want to see ace king or ace queen.
Karot kick the player at risk. The last remaining Russian in the tournament. Deuces a marginal favourite here. Bigger favourite now.
Although a 5 counterfeits them. You hate seeing that paired board. And that's so brutal to be counterfeited by 5s and 3s. Oh my god.
Ooh, close.
So a lot of hidden outs for ace jack. Any ace, any jack, any 5, any 6.
Plenty of cards for Karot kick to sweat on the river. The queen is a safe card and deuces hold, and Mikhail Karot kick doubles up through Tamer Kamal.
The friendly Russian.
And it's pretty surprising. What I don't know what's happened at the other tables, but we're more than a level and a half into today, and that's the first race we've seen.
Karot kick now playing a 33 big blind stack. Jeff Lay says, guys, do a quick cut to the booth. Want to see what this girl with the beautiful voice sounds like. Hashtag stalker. Jeff, have you heard of Google Images?
I can't believe people are saying that I have a nice voice. I had the same thing 2 days ago. I just don't agree. But thanks. I'll take the compliment.
Fatima de Melo is her name.
I don't
Search for her on Google and you'll find some pictures.
I don't think it's so much your voice that isn't nice. It's the things you say. Those are the not nice things. It's the words that come out of your mouth.
Only to you.
I finally got
to
a
you.
laugh out of Fatima, everyone. 3 days later. That's it. Chris Rock dropped.
Oh, God.
I've peaked.
I'm glad you're so happy about it. I feel bad about it now. I wish I hadn't laughed. Shit.
Can't take it back. And there it is. And there it is. You broke all the records today, by the way. You were in here a solid 20 minutes.
20?
Before that little S-bomb you just dropped. See,
I've been here for like 35 minutes.
Okay. You're right, Fatima.
Either way, that's the longest
Long.
it's ever taken you to swear before. So
Yeah.
well done, Fatima.
Yeah, I'm becoming really well behaved because of you guys. Thanks, guys.
And a quick reminder about the caption competition we have running on EPT Live. Earlier, a photograph was taken by Neil Stoddart the official EPT photographer of myself, Joe Stapleton, and David Williams from Team PokerStars Pro. That caption, or rather the photograph, has been tweeted by the official PokerStars EPT account. Stapes retweeted it, I retweeted it. We wanted to come up with an amusing caption for that photograph. Do tweet it, use the hashtag EPT Live. We're collating all of those captions, and then we're going to judge a winner later on today. And the winner of the caption contest will receive a couple of DVD box sets, including Season 1 of the Big Game. And just to confirm that those DVDs are PAL Region 2. So yes, I'm sorry America, but once again, you're not eligible.
America is as eligible for that box set as it is for free health care. And online poker.
Follow says, speaking of Google, ran into an old Poker News interview that Stapes did, and I can't believe he is not tanned anymore.
Were you tanned?
I did it's well known, but I guess I'll go over for a few people who don't know. I did a prop bet in the 2008 World Series of Poker, I want to say, maybe 2009, where I had to get 2 spray tans a day for a week straight at the highest setting. And most of the Google searches of me usually bring up that video.
I've never Googled you.
I look like, well, that
I
makes,
am gonna now, though.
I wish I could say the same, that I hadn't Googled you, but I have. Anyway, so yeah, so there's a couple of funny photos of me and some videos, some interviews I did. I look like Tom Hanks at the end of Castaway, only browner.
Well, let's get back to the action at this table in a moment, but very quickly, I want to mention this, Joe. I don't know whether you're aware, but one of the side events, event number 14 here in the London Poker Festival, was won by a certain Kent Lundmark.
Yes, of course it was. He's the side event master. He won a side event in Deauville also.
He's also a main event master. He has an EPT title. So Vizotskis opens with a raise to 50. Kamel calls, and then Frank makes it 146,000. The original raiser folds, but Kamel will call.
We've seen Kamel do this a couple of times, actually. Just call the raise, then call the 3-bet after the original raiser gets out of the way. And neither time, he didn't really turn up with much.
Kamel has checked the flop, and Frank will continue, as one would expect him to, on this paired board. $122,000. By the way, if you're wondering what that kind of snivelling and giggling is in the background, that's Fatima and Joe seeking out the photograph or video of Joe with his spray tan.
If you YouTube Joe Stapleton tan, it's like the first.
It looks like you've been on Survivor there, just with a lot of food.
Yeah, exactly. Plenty of food on that island.
A lot of coconuts there.
Deep fried coconut, mostly. We got a call.
We did that, actually.
Six on the turn.
Can't imagine that changed too much. See if Frank slows down. Kamel, we'll have to check to him first, obviously. I guess once you bet this flop and get called, you really got to wonder what kinds of hands are sticking around at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, jacks are sticking around. Probably most pairs on a paired board. Flush draws.
The last time he had an underpair on a board like that, he check raised, you know? So
Mel did, yep.
maybe he's changing it up. Maybe he just doesn't have that kind of hand right now.
I mean, I think some ace highs are probably calling you also on that flop, and now once you get double barreled into, you can start thinking about folding those ace highs.
Quick public service announcement. The next person who tweets the Bloomin' Joe Stapleton tan video in the EPT timeline, I'm going to block.
They're all doing it.
We've seen it now.
James can't stand me getting all this attention.
No, it's not that. It's like, look, it's just clogging up the timeline. Okay, guys, if you haven't seen it, it's there. It's on the internet.
Well, there's the raise. It's a raise all in.
And a call.
Sixes again for Kamel.
Wow.
An ace
Wow, that's
jack.
6.
What a cooler.
And Frank is the player at risk here. He's got fewer chips and he needs to improve on the river.
An ace, a jack, or a tray.
It's a 3!
Wow.
Holy moly. And
Take
taking
that
off the
jacket
jacket.
off. Yeah.
The karma of the jacket.
Oh my god.
Frank improves to a better full house on the river and doubles up through Tamer Kamel, who'll be left with about $500,000 in chips.
That's a sick hand.
Wow.
Really well played, I think, by both players.
Yep.
Kamel obviously has his opponent in the perfect spot, exactly where he wants him. Cold decks him, and then just gets banged up by the river.
Nicholas Carr is a happy man on Twitter. He says, just Googled Fatima de Melo and the first pick was of her with a snake. Fatima, all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're watching EPT Live from Madrid last season, we had a long, and by long I mean 30-minute conversation about that snake.
He's dead.
Yeah, I was going to say, the conclusion is it's no longer living. It is an ex-snake.
It's a purse now, probably. Nice purse.
It was in Fatima's contract. Yeah, I'll do the picture with the snake, and afterwards I want it turned into a purse.
Yep. It's my sports bag for tennis. No, I'm kidding. I'm a real animal lover.
What if the snake died of natural causes?
Then it's fine.
Chris, by the way,
Then it's fine.
on the subject of
It did die of natural causes, by the way.
on the subject of Kent Lundmark, Chris Days just tweeted to say Kent is a great player, and he beat me heads up last night after about an hour and a half. He says the next one is mine. I so want a trophy. Unlucky, Chris, and congratulations, Kent, on taking down that side event here at EPT London.
Speaking of unlucky, Tamer Kamel left with just 547,000, which is a little more than 20 bigs.
Shovable. Not really playable, you know?
No. And it's really important that you just kind of regroup and continue to make good decisions.
Robert says, what a sick beat. Thought those kind of beats were reserved for online. Marco says, Fatima, do you actually speak Portuguese?
I do, but my accent's okay, as I've heard. And they say I speak it well, but I have to admit my vocabulary is pretty small because I never practice it. Like once a year in an interview, which makes me sweat.
I know many of you are playing Micro Millions events today. Good luck to everyone playing online. Condor says it is a great week of poker, and as well as the EPT live stream, Dwan's playing Isildur heads up right now. As you can rail that action on Full Tilt Poker. And a reminder that if you want to know what happened in the challenge, the heads-up challenge between the Team PokerStars guys and the Full Tilt professionals, that took place last Sunday. You can read all the reports at pokerstarsblog.com. Jorgensen winning that pot with a 3-bet pre. And that is the URL you need, pokerstarsblog.com. And follow the guys on Twitter as well. Every time a new article is uploaded, they tell you about it on their Twitter feed. Robert says so sick for a hand like that to happen at this stage of the tournament. But Lucas is happy. He says, yeah, very nice hand, Christopher Frank. Go, Germany, go.
I know David Williams is cheering for Christopher Frank to hit that river.
So David Williams' chips are still in the stack of Christopher Frank. There's 2.2 million. Steve O'Dwyer, the other player at this table with more than 2 million in chips, 2.24 million.
James, I can run down a bunch of the guys that busted from the high roller.
Please do.
Some of them will be repeats. You've heard already, but here we go. Mercier, gone. Negrano, gone. Finger, Wig, Blom, Berenda, Gerdevoy, Barbosa, Raul Refos, Caverman, Shaq, Nicolas Levy, Jason Lavalle, excuse me, Corbett Metal, Rob Akery, Guy Goosens, all eliminated.
How is Calfon missing from that list?
He slipped out. Maybe he played under an alias. Who knows? Maybe Guy Goosens is one of his aliases.
Theo's been pretty quiet. Just waiting patiently for good spots, I guess.
He was very active in the first level of the day, and it wasn't really going well for him. He kind of clawed it back in the last 15 minutes. But he's only comfortably on a stack of 1.4 million at the moment. That was raise and take it for Neil Farrell.
You know, the funniest thing about that whole tan thing was that I wasn't allowed to tell the girls.
Talking about you again, huh? Okay,
Well,
yeah,
it's a
that's
funny
okay.
story.
It's okay. Okay, cool. Yeah. No, go ahead.
No,
I'm
that's
really
cool.
interested.
Nope.
No, keep going. I'm sure everyone wants to hear about you. Right?
I can only tell
Sorry,
stories.
guys,
I
he's
can only
now-
tell stories about me.
Okay, just tell them. Come on. Let's go.
Nope.
Don't be a sulking little
Nope.
kid.
I am.
I'm sure the people that are listening are really interested.
Well, you ruined it for them.
Are
Hope
you
you're
like
happy.
that? Are you like
Nope,
that?
you've made me like that.
Oh, God. So influenceable. Grow up.
Well, Steve O'Dwyer limps.
How long is it going to take for you to get back and just tell it?
Oh, I'm not going to tell the story, but I'll return to my normal self.
Ah.
We'll compromise.
Ah.
Karaki all in and wins.
Sphinx
What were you
on
checking
Twitter
out? Oh, sorry. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
asks, Fatima, why is Ray not playing the EPT, or did I miss something?
No, he's not playing. He didn't qualify or got sponsored, and he has stuff to do in Holland, so not an option.
Get her, Ray. You know what that's from?
No.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, really? Yeah, I kind of forgot about like how it all went down there.
How it all went down on Ghostbusters?
Yeah, I used to watch it when I was a little kid, but my memory sucks. Ghostbusters. That's all I remember.
That's how it goes down.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to know what happened. Too many shows after that. I filled my brain.
Steve O'Dwyer limping again.
It worked out for him last time. He finally found a way of making the limp strategy work.
This is going to go. Let's see. Theo hasn't checked yet. There we go. 4 ways.
I love Mikhail Korotkik.
Yeah,
He has
me
such
too.
an expressive face. Obviously not ideal when you're at the poker table, but good from a spectator's point of view.
I always say "bliet" to him every time I see him. That's the only thing I can say in Russian.
What does that mean?
I can't say that in English because it's a swear word.
Awesome. Well, enjoy that.
So you wouldn't really want to say it to his face then?
Oh yeah, I always do. And then he always smiles and pat like sisters. So, oh, she always says "bleh," you know, like, oh, that's funny. He can't believe I always say that word.
By the way, an update on Chris Moorman. After doubling up, he won another big pot and is back up to around 1.2 million in chips.
Yeah, that's what I like about poker. It can go so quickly, up and down, but there's always hope, you know?
Dwyer leads his flop. Theo raises. And last time we saw Steve limp, it was with a bad ace.
It's a check raise from Theo, right?
Right, so if Theo does have a deuce here, I mean, it is conceivable that he would check raise with it, thinking he can probably get action on at least one street from a bad ace.
Really leveling out there.
Steve
Nice.
folds.
Theo now up over 1.5 million.
Theo show.
Yeah.
8-4.
Oh, Theo, you cheeky monkey.
You are very easily persuaded.
He likes it.
I just love when someone raises and shows you they have 4 and you're like, ah, I had 7 tray.
Yeah.
You have me crushed.
I'm glad I folded now, yeah.
Peter says, hi, with modern technology, should all headphones be banned for the players, coaching by outside sources, etc.? Well, certainly for players at the feature table, headphones are not allowed, and we discussed that one yesterday, and we've discussed it many times before. On the outer tables, I don't know, I think it's kind of unenforceable.
It's unenforceable, and I mean, what kind of coaching are they really going to get? The person would have to be in the room watching them.
Raise.
Right.
Yeah.
And I also think the juice isn't worth the squeeze. I mean, what little help you could get from that isn't really worth the absolute expulsion you're going to get from the tournament when you get caught.
By the way, many people starting to get a little bit impatient and wanting that all-important free roll password. We will get that information out later on. You're going to have to just be a little bit more patient. Still plenty of time before that tournament starts.
Password, please. Pass, please. Pass. EPT
Kid.
free roll pass, please. That's what all the tweets are saying right now.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
3 ways to the flop.
Ace, King, 5 with 2 hearts. No Dwyer raising this time, though, pre-flop from under the gun. No continuation bet. King of clubs on the turn. And with O'Dwyer checking a second time, Mantas Vysotskis now bets, leading for 50,000. There's a call from Tamer Kamal, a fold from Steve O'Dwyer. Heads up to the river. Six of hearts. And Vysotskis wastes no time in going for chips.
Really quick.
Bets a second time.
All in, says Kamal. All out, says Vysotskis.
It's good. Kamelka bluffs in his range by just calling there.
Kamal
Wanted to extract as much value as he could.
back up to 735,000. So up over 30 big blinds. He and Korotkik pretty evenly stacked, as are Vizotskis and Jorgensen. And at the top of the table, O'Dwyer and Christopher Frank. 7 players at this table, 7 players at the outer table.
Not many guys busting.
Only one elimination, sorry, today.
Yeah.
That elimination being the Finn Pasi Sormanen. So we still have Steve O'Dwyer looking to make back-to-back EPT London final tables. We've still got Theo Jorgensen looking to complete his triple crown here at EPT London. And we've still got Nicola Schwiti looking to become the first ever 2-time EPT champion.
Those seat assignments you're seeing, by the way, are for the other table, not for this table. Just so we can keep you guys updated as to who's still in.
So 2 English players, Chris Moorman at the outer table and Tamer Kamal on our feature table. It's been a long time since this title was won on home soil.
Yeah, there's a storyline. We've got so many other big ones.
The weird thing is, for the first 3 seasons, EPT London was won by an English player, and an English player has not won it since. And all in on the outer table, table 2. Looks like Olaf Haglund has the triangle of death in front of him. Haglund the player all in, and the fact that he's on his feet suggests it's Basel Musa who's the other player involved in this part, in the 1 seat. Is the hand actually over? Has the board been dealt?
Yep.
And looks like Musa has doubled up Olaf Haglund. So Haglund survives. We still have both Swedes in the field. I'm not sure how big a blow that was to Basel Musa's stack. Musa, one of 2 players from Lebanon remaining, the other being Nicola Schwiti, our aforementioned potential 2-time champ. Live updates on hands and chip counts from the outer table available via the live update section of the PokerStarsBlog.com.
James, can I put something out to the audience that's a little unrelated, but I want a little help with? Is that okay?
I may be making a mistake in
A
trusting you,
technology
but
question. No, it's not. It's just it's a
Okay.
little off topic, but there's nothing rude about it.
good.
My MacBook Pro cuts into my wrist. It has very sharp edges, and I couldn't find anything online that you can buy to sort of put on the edge here. And even you can see, Fatima, see how it's worn down right there?
I can see, yeah.
That part's, because I'm right-handed, it's particularly uncomfortable there. So if anyone out there knows of anything that you can put on the edge of your MacBook, I would love a little help here to make it so, because it really digs into my wrists, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, the edge of the keyboard, right?
Yeah, and I'm going to exercise a little bit, abuse my job here a little bit, and speaking to a large audience. Maybe y'all can help me out if anyone has the same problem, if anyone knows of any product that I can buy. Couldn't find any on Amazon. I was thinking just maybe something that sticks there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or like a little cover that
Yeah,
goes around
exactly.
the bottom. Yeah, you would think they'd have something like that.
Okay.
I take it you've actually looked.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
We've got it all in.
Surprised you can't get some accessory from the Apple Store that costs like £200. So let's recap the action. O'Dwyer opened, Vizotskis 3-bet, Kamel shoved, a 4-bet jam for 783,000. And that will get through. And Kamel getting back in this game. A lot of dead money in that pot there.
And, you know, I don't think Steve or Mantis probably folded anything too strong there, but I think that's an awfully strong move, the cold 4-bet all in. He's probably not doing that too light.
Kamel up to nearly $1 million in chips again.
Things getting a little shallower here again. Remember, you know, last level we had 2 players with over 100 big blinds, only 1 player with less than 50. We have 2 players with less than 50 now, but those sort of medium stacks are starting to shallow out a little bit, and especially that we're going to have new blinds in just under 15 minutes. Blinds will be going up from 12, 24, 3,000 to 15,000, 30,000 with a 4K ante. Raise and take it for Vitsotskis.
Okay, you ready to tell your story now?
I feel like whatever's going to happen, the story is not going to be good, and then
it's not good?
And then you're going to, at the end of it, go, oh, this is what you made
what
the
if
real
I
big
promise you that I will not say anything about it? Is that good?
I feel like just too big a
Fine,
deal
right?
has been made of it at this point. I just
Oh,
can't
yeah?
do it. Yeah.
Oh, so
you know how it is.
So it wasn't interesting at all.
I'm loving some of the answers to Stapes'
What
question.
can we, Fatima, let's address the bigger
Tell
issue.
it. No, let's just go to your request. It's fine. It's
Yes,
okay.
James.
You asked the audience, they've come back with answers. Peter
Yeah.
says, be a man.
Russell says, grow a pair.
And Sefa says, I had the same problem. Contact Apple and they will replace the edge with a soft cover. They even did mine for free.
Oh.
Wow.
Debbie says, try duct tape. Michelle says, wear fingerless gloves. By the way, Paul has just emailed nuts@pokerstars.tv. Obviously, he's had enough of us. He says, why are there no German commentators? Good news. Tomorrow, Paul, you won't have to listen to us because there will be German commentary. There will be a localized German feed available for you to watch at Sport 1.
This guy, Greg, who's written to say Junior should has some spare Macs to swap out with. He's referring to a story I told on a radio show probably 5 years ago about how I had a MacBook Air scammed off of me when I tried to sell it on Craigslist to a guy named Junior.
iPoker Girl suggests some tennis racket grip tape like Torna grip. Have you seen Peter's response?
Peter.
He says, Sean Deeb.
Obviously. We just got a caption from Peter that I would like to be included in that. I think it's pretty funny. Steve O'Dwyer is raised under the gun. Theo calls from the small blind.
Oh man, Marx has come up with an awesome one. He says, I'm sure that MacBook problem is an Argos challenge. Still got the catalogue Stapes.
No chance they have something that will. I mean, they may have like something like a jerry rig at Argos, like duct tape or something. But Jorgen's check to the original raiser, Steve, who continues. Yeah, no amount of flipping through that book is going to help. Theo calls the continuation bet. 2 to 3 chips at a time.
Determined to find something.
Queen of spades on the turn. Theo checks again.
Computers. Oh, why are computer accessories in like 88 different sections of the catalogue?
Steve not slowing down at all. Steve put that bet out a little differently than he usually does, right?
It looked
Came out
a little
like the
awkward.
side of his palm.
Mm.
Maybe he's just trying to put a little flair on it like Theo's been doing, tossing those chips from downtown.
If that's Steve's flair, then
Steve bets 147,000. A little more than half the pot. Both these guys repping pretty strong at this point.
Yeah.
Four, 5 is open end of the flop, just got there. Not much else. I think if Steve bets again here, it's pretty polarizing. Because he's either not afraid or just totally bluffing. 280,000.
Half the pot.
Theo had obviously something strong enough to call on the flop and turn.
How much is it? 280?
280, yes.
Did you hit the queen?
Did you hit the queen, says Theo.
He probably has like a 7. Then.
7, yeah.
I guess he's not check raising. That's for sure. If he check raises now, that'd be hilarious.
That's a heck of an angle.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a 7. It could be something like 2 8s,
Yeah.
2 9s.
Sure.
See if we can hear Theo Negreanu his way through this.
He's smooth with the chips, that's for sure.
You're gonna show me the bluff. You're gonna show me if I fold.
You're not getting anything from O'Dwyer.
Yeah, I like Steve O'Dwyer's sizing here. Because it's like half the pot. You know he wants, you know, like a call is being made easy, you know, because of the size. It doesn't look like a bluff this way at all.
I have a better hand than you would suspect.
What's a better hand than we'd suspect? 10s? Jacks?
Not to value bet a pair of 7s there with a front kicker. But on the other hand, thanks so freaking hand. I'm leaning towards you.
Remember, Steve raises under the gun to start off with.
Yeah, you might just have an overpair this time.
No one
Good.
gets
I think overpair is conceivable. Continuation betting with ace queen and hitting it, I think is conceivable.
Yep.
like the only eyes that you
Just his river bet is suspicious. Because you know this looks like a value bet. You know what I mean? So that's what makes you think
Right, and that's
maybe
it.
it's not, you
Right.
know?
I mean, I just wouldn't be surprised if Steve had something really strong here. Just the way Theo quickly called a flop and turn, and Steve just really didn't seem scared at all to put a not huge bet out.
No. And Theo did the check on the river, like check because you know we're in like the flow of you betting and then me calling, so I'll
Right.
just call you quickly.
Theo does
if-
call.
Yeah. 6.
Yeah, Steve is huge, right? Yeah.
6, yeah.
And Theo chooses to muck his hand. And O'Dwyer ships a huge pot. You're right, Joe. I couldn't find anything in the Argos catalog, but I can get you Norton 360 protection.
Is it Norton 360 wrist protection?
No, and it's for a PC rather than a Mac. So O'Dwyer up to nearly 2.7 million. Jorgensen back to $1 million in chips. Let's get some suggestions for our caption competition. Remember, we took this photograph a little bit earlier today when David Williams was with us, and we're asking you to contribute a funny caption. Tag your tweets EPT Live and we'll judge a winner at the end of the day. Here are some early suggestions. Nuno says, now on EPT Live, the Three Stooges. So he's tried to work the word stooge.
Okay.
Okay. David Williams actually sent in his own suggestion. Flossin' and Bossin' at EPT London.
I like it.
Bagpuss. See no evil, hear no evil. Defo Stapes, say no evil. Nat, this is the one that you leaked earlier on, Joe. The last time I saw this much plaque was on the EPT Deauville final table. We like that one. And Mr. Jam says, I'm scared the fashion police are going to catch me. Better brush my teeth.
You know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So I'm just going to... Yep, that.
Keep your suggestions.
What the hell is that?
Coming in.
You're checking out naked pictures of people and stuff?
Well, we occasionally just look at people's Twitter avatars, and sometimes they happen to be scantily clad people.
Occasionally, like 20 minutes ago, you were doing the same thing on Facebook.
Well, someone
I don't
left
know
me
what
a
that
comment.
was.
I wanted to see who left me the comment. That's
Yeah,
all.
you were like going for it, like going to the photo and then to the profile picture. Another
Yes,
photo,
that's how one
and another
identifies
one,
a person.
and another one.
No, it's just one photo.
And then you looked at me like, ooh, no, I didn't like it. Ooh, no.
Yeah, no, I
ooh.
didn't.
You just felt caught, I think. No?
No.
Slightly?
I don't think I felt caught. Just
Right.
doing it right out here in the open in front of everybody.
I'm going to
Yeah,
save Joe
but we were
Stapleton by getting back to the action here and announcing that the free roll password will be revealed at the end of this level. Those of you looking to register for that game that kicks off at 8:15 Central European Time. By the way, Stapes,
Yeah, buddy.
Lewis, who for some bizarre reason now tweets as Gloria, did actually come up with a serious suggestion for you for your wrist problem.
Stop looking at pictures.
Yeah, those are good, I think. I just want something that sticks to it, though, because I use my laptop all over the house. So, thank you, everyone. I appreciate everyone who wrote in with legitimate suggestions. Thank you.
2.5 minutes at this level, by the way. Then the players will go on another short break. And a reminder that before they do that, we will give you today's free roll password. Where are we going to randomly land on the underground map today?
Hey, Korotkik. Erased. Everyone insta-phones.
Should be able to squeeze in at least one more hand.
Gloria, before that, had written to say, from what I heard, Stapes, your wrists get enough action. They should be able to handle it.
Nice. So here is the password for today's EPT Live free roll, kicking off at 8:15 Central European Time. Barbican, B-A-R-B-I-C-A-N, all lowercase. Barbican is the free roll password. It's in the EPT section of the PokerStars tournament lobby. That's where you'll find the game. Type in that word and you will be able to register for the game. Mr. Stapleton, will you be playing?
I think so, yeah. I passed through the Barbican on my way here today.
Now, you can actually call the Barbican because it is actually a place called the Barbican.
Oh, well, look at that.
What is that then?
The Barbican, it's a kind of arts performance centre, and there's a gallery there. They have expositions, concerts.
I meant the Barbican tube stop.
Oh, and just to correct something, Sepho wishes to point out that Flossin' and Bossin' was his caption, which was wrongly credited to David Williams. I think David probably had better things to do than enter a caption competition he probably can't win.
James, no one has better things to do than enter this caption contest. It is literally the most important thing in the world.
Impressive that he came out. I mean, I think he was playing Magic with Noah Buka all night last night, wasn't he?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think Noah Buka flew in from Amsterdam just for dinner and Magic with David. He
Nerd
flew in
alert.
at like 10 o'clock or something in the evening.
Andrews has tweeted to say, hi guys, just tuned in. What's the update on this thing? The update is, Andrew, this will be the last hand of the level. We're about to go on a break, but there's not been much significant action. We've only lost one player today. Pasi Sormanen the only elimination, so we still have 14. We still need to lose another 6 players before we have our final table. And this last hand of the level at our feature table, we'll see the 2 Brits, Tamer Kamal and Neil Farrell, go to a flop.
15 minutes break. 15 minutes break, please.
Steve O'Dwyer started the day as chip leader. Looks like he still has that chip lead with around 2.9 million. We still have Theo Jorgensen, the last remaining member of Team PokerStars Pro, and we still have our potential 2-time champion. Nicola Schwiti has a seat on the outer table. When we come back from the break, the blinds will be 15 and 30,000 with a 4K ante. Let's see how this hand plays out. Farrell has continued on the flop for 70,000.
Take it down.
And that continuation bet will win him the pot. So our live coverage resumes in around 15 minutes' time. Thanks to Fatima de Melo for once again popping by.
No problem, guys.
Thanks,
It was a
Fatima.
pleasure. No problem, Joski.
And we'll be back shortly here on the PokerStars.net European Poker Tour.